Hello, Lou Hamilton from Audible Elegance here in Cincinnati, Ohio. My store is located a couple doors north of the Montgomery Inn, right across the street from Montgomery Cyclery. Being spring, you might want to think about getting your bike tuned up and coming over and visiting us. We do work on Instagram, X, Facebook. I also write a monthly blog. And today I'd like to talk about a subject that people play with, and it's called turntable mats. And all turntables come with some sort of mat provided by the manufacturer, whether it's just something that they've grabbed OEM off the shelf to throw on their platter or otherwise. I can't speak as to that. But there are a lot of aftermarket widgets. And so we actually had an LP12 in here that came with a Cork mat. And we decided to listen to it on this Riga P2, and it happened to be the Riga P3 and such on. And what we quickly discovered is that while tonally things changed, musically it became a nightmare. You didn't have one musician in time with the other. And it was obvious in the first, 4 beats, it was over that quick. And there are a lot of different widgets out there. Now, fortunately, this Cork is light. So it really doesn't change the amount of weight on the bearing. And when you're talking about a turntable bearing, you're talking about weight, and you're also pressure, and pressure results in heat and can result in accelerated wear. So this Cork mat in that regard was harmless. It didn't harm the bearing. But in terms of being better, no, definitely it was not. We've seen some mats, for a while they were made out of sorbothane, very dampening material, but quite heavy. It was actually adding about 2 pounds to the weight of the entire platter system. And as I said, you're changing the amount of pressure and, of course, the temperature of friction by those type of mats. And whether the turntable was designed to tolerate that range, I don't know. It's just like a transmission on a car is designed to potentially pull so much, but if you put too much on it, it begins to strain all the parts and all hell breaks loose. The same thing can happen to a bearing. There are thicker and thinner rubber mats. I've seen mats made out of cowhide, still with the fur on them. And as long as you're not fundamentally changing the weight of the platter system on the bearing, go ahead and play, is my feeling. However, please make sure that you're listening to music, rhythm, pitch, and emotion to judge what you're getting. Because if all you're trying to do is change the flavor of the day, then just buy yourself a couple different cans of Glade Air Mist or something, because that'll change how the room smells every day. You got to listen to the music. If you're looking at a mat that is substantially heavier than what the manufacturer provides, I would be very leery of that. And only with talking with somebody who actually did the engineering of the table, not a salesperson in the office answering phone calls, as to whether the bearing system would handle that additional mass. And that's what we're talking about. So I'm glad I got the Cork mat, because I'll be able to do demos here in the store, showing people that well-intentioned ideas, I would assume it's well-intentioned, sometimes don't work at all. And if you want to play with those sort of widgets, my only advice is to make sure that you can return it, for a full refund. If it's a one-way ticket and you got money to burn, great. My advice is go ahead and buy lottery tickets, because you can actually become rich that way.